Pokey here again, and today I'm going to go over something called Instamold. It is a hot water softening, air or cold water hardening plastic type resin thing. I don't know what it is, but it's really great. You put it in hot water, it softens. You take it out, you press it into anything you want to mold it into, and wait for it to cool. It hardens, you pull it off, and you can use green stuff or paper clay or whatever you want to use it for. I have this, and I was playing with some green stuff earlier, so now I have made this as a mold. Now I have this as what I can make out of it. So to show you how it works, I have my hot water here, using a stick because I really don't want to burn myself, because I actually microwaved it because hot water out of the tap just doesn't seem to be quite hot enough. So, alright, so we pull this out, and as you can tell, it's quite soft and pliable. So I just kind of mix it like this a little bit to get it into a ball. And today I'm actually going to be molding the head here of this circle beast. I just basically need a bird head. So basically what you do when it's still hard, when it's still soft, you just take it, wrap it around to however much you need. For this one, I'm probably actually putting on more than what I need, because like I said, I just need basically the head portion. One thing to remember, whatever you decide you're going to mold, you gotta make sure you can pull it back off again when you're done, so that way you can put your green stuff, epoxy, whatever it is you're going to use on afterwards. So use that there to wait until it cools. And while that's cooling, I'm going to throw the other half of this. There's actually quite a bit. I mean, I have the parts on the bird, I have this, then I have this is all out of one pack that you can get at most hobby stores. And it's really kind of nice because it gives you a nice clean copy for the most part. So I'm going to take this, drop this in, and it doesn't take very long for it to soften. I just kind of try to keep them under the water as much as possible so it will soften. And now I'll grab the other thing. That I want to replicate. Now, I am by no means telling you to use any of this stuff or trying to endorse in any way the use of this to copy anybody's stuff. This is for, like, if you need that one piece that you just can't get anywhere else, like the bird head. You can't really get the bird head unless you have the bird. I was fortunate enough to know somebody that had one. They were going to be stripping and repainting, so before they stripped it, they allowed me to make a sculpt of the head. The other portion you see there, I'm actually going to be using it for the Talzorworm head, because I'm trying a bit of conversion work, and I need its headpiece, or at least this piece of its head. So go like this, pull it out. Once again, it's all nice and soft. Then we just take it, and like I said, I just need just the top half. I'm going to try to use it as a shield backing. So it's going to be, so just pressing it on. You don't want to press it on towards too thin across the back, because if it gets too thin, when you go to put whatever it is you're going to be putting in, well, I find this to be with green stuff anyways. If you make it too thin, the green, it's still rubber, it's still pliable. It has the potential to bulb it out or push it out to where you don't get as clean a copy. So just kind of keeping it where I need it for now. Just like this. Now, if I had like a little cup of cold water, I could dunk it in the cold water and it would almost harden right away. But I'm just gonna take one of my little clips. Maybe more than one of my little clips. No, I just want my little clips. That way it helps hold it up. And then wait for those things to harden. Once they harden, I will bring out some green stuff. I'll mix it up. I'll show you what it looks like to go into the mold. And then we'll have to pause the camera again to show you when it comes out of the mold how it looks. Alright, so here we are. We're back with having the molds. They're now cool. They've hardened. This is the one from the worm's head, and this was the one from the crow. And here's some green stuff that I've mixed up just a second ago, so it's still nice and soft and gooey. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with the bird head. Just take a little bit because I don't think we're going to need all of this. So just rip off some of it and just kind of shove it in. That's where the stick comes in. It's really kind of nice because you just take the stick and make sure the stick is wet, of course. Or you can use any sculpting tools or almost anything really. What you want to do is you want to make sure you get it all the way to the very front of the mold. I'm really because I kind of put a little too much in the mold, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is we're just going to keep pushing until we get it much in there as we think we can get in there. And it's because this is going to be as a headpiece. I'm trying to make sure that I don't, because I don't know if you guys can see it there, but you can kind of see the way the head is formed in the mold, how it's kind of filling in down this direction. You know, so you have kind of like this in the mold. What I'm doing is I'm trying to, when I fill the mold, because I know what I'm going to be using it for, trying to make sure there's a little less on the bottom half, the half that the model's head is going to be in. So looking at this, I'm just going to make sure that we get more than enough pushed in, just because I need to make sure that we have no air gaps. More than likely there will be some air gaps, and I'm hoping that I can push most of those air gaps out. Unfortunately, this half here makes it hard for me to see if I have any air gaps in there. I think that's probably why I'm working that side so much more, because I can see the one side is pretty filled in. Looks like I should be okay. I may have an air gap in there. If I do, then that just means that I'll have to, use half a head for a base piece or something else. So I'll just do this. Now that that's done, I just let it sit off to the side, wait for the green stuff to cure. Now, for the worm's head, I was thinking I would try to use green stuff to fill in there, but then looking at the head, how it has a bunch of those little backwards ridges. You know, the mold will get it because I press it in there to get that in the mold. The downside is that's a lot of ridges. It's a lot of ridges right there to try to shove green stuff into the mold. So with that being the case, I am actually going to be using a 2-part resin to pour into the mold. And because it's poured in, like most liquids, it's going to pretty much go into all the nooks and crannies and then harden later on. So it'll harden, like resin does. It'll harden like plastic. So because it takes some time to mix and pour and then everything else, I'm not going to show that part on the video, but I will show you the after effect when it dries and then I go to pull it out of the mold. So that part not going to be part of the video, how the mixing goes and the pouring, but you will see the end result. So I'm going to stop the camera real quick and do the resin portion, and then when I come back you'll see me removing the finished product from both pieces. One thing I'm going to let you guys know for the resin, when it is mixed and you go to pour it, you got to make sure that you do not have too many air pockets. Air pockets or bubbles in the resin will have some pretty bad effects when you go to look at the finished product. So just be careful, and yeah, so I'll come back when I have everything ready to pull from the mold. Alright, so we are now back. Everything's pretty much gone through. The resin, the green stuff, the molds. Because the way the molds had wrapped around on some of the stuff, like the snake's head, it kind of wrapped around some, and because there was a lot of different detail to be pulled out from, ridge detail to be pulled out, it was really kind of difficult to just kind of pull these things straight out. So what I had to do is I had to make cuts into the mold to help, spread it, release it, so I can pull the pieces out. Now, if you look, it's not 100% perfect, but it's definitely pretty good. Some cleanup pieces here and there, but overall, it makes a pretty good replica of the original. Boom. And because I'm not trying to make this, I just needed this part for a conversion piece I was working on. It's going to work out just perfect. I'll cut away a bunch of the extra pieces that I don't need and be good to go. Now for the snake, here's its head. That's what you get with the head. And then here is the other piece. The 2-part resin worked out pretty good. It's still a little tacky, but once it dries completely, it should be just fine for a shield, which is what I'm hoping to use it for. And yeah, so this stuff it's called Instamold. It is a rubber thing. I think it's rubber anyways. And it's really great. Hot water to soften it so you can form it over to almost anything you need. Fill it with green stuff, the 2-part epoxy acrylics. I've even heard super glue. Nothing sticks to this stuff Once it dries, you can just cut it, pop it, whatever it is you need to do. And I mean, I've used it for these things quite a few times, for cobblestone type things on bases. Almost anything that you need a quick fix on, you can use for it. So I hope this has been very informative, and happy hobbying.
If you enjoyed this Advanced Maneuvers hobby content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let us know what future tips and tricks and hobby-related materials you would like to see. Don't forget, it just takes one brushstroke to keep getting better.